This is my favorite new toy, the TourBox. I bought this to use in Photoshop, mainly for the brush tool. Twist a knob and change the brush size, or change the flow, or the hardness, and more. It's good in Audition too. Zoom in, zoom out, scrub, cut. But I'm not here to talk about Adobe apps. I realized another use for TourBox, Camtasia. I made it work, and I'll show you how. But first, this video isn't sponsored. I purchased Camtasia and TourBox on my own. Using them together has been great, which inspired me to share this with you. Now, let's see TourBox and Camtasia. Then after that, how I made it work. So stick around, because you don't want to miss that. Here we go. On the TourBox, there are 4 buttons used as modifiers. The side button is the Command key. Top is Control. The tall button is Shift. And the short button is Alt, also known as Option on Mac, where I'm using Camtasia at the moment. These keys modify other controls on the TourBox, but each also works as their assigned keys. For example, hold the tall button just as you would Shift, and drag the playhead to cut and insert time. Or the short button just as you would use Option, to drag and extend a clip. On the left is a scroll wheel. Roll it up to zoom in on the timeline. Roll it down to zoom out. Also, the wheel is a button. Press it and see the entire timeline. There is a knob in the center. This steps forward or back frame by frame. Hold the tall button while turning the knob, and just like Shift, it selects frames. To move faster, hold the short button, and it jumps 15 frames ahead or back. For larger moves, use the flat dial. This goes from one clip to the next, forward or back, to make big leaps across the timeline. Both the knob and dial are also buttons like the scroll wheel. Press either to play and stop the video. Remove diacritics changes characters with accents to the equivalent basic. Next to the knob is the Tour button. This is Undo. Below the knob is a directional pad, or D-pad for short, similar to a game controller. Each direction performs a command. The TourBox software has a heads-up display of the D-pad and the commands for each direction. In the Finder status menu, right-click the TourBox icon and select Open D-pads HUD. It's helpful to start while learning the TourBox controls. It shows the commands I've assigned each direction. Select a clip and press Up splits the media. Down adds an animation. Right groups media. Left is Tab. This is handy for editing properties. It moves through the inputs. The side button is the modifier key for the D-pad. When pressed, the D-pad commands change. Tab becomes Shift-Tab for moving backwards through inputs. Right becomes Ungroup. Up becomes Split all tracks. And down becomes Stitch media. These are my choices, the commands I use most often. Each can be any command you want. I'll show how that works in a bit. There are 2 round buttons top right. Unmodified, these are Copy and Paste. Make a selection, then hold down the short button. The button for copy becomes Cut. Or hold the tall button, and it ripple deletes the selection. Notice my hand hasn't left the TourBox to reach for the keyboard. In normal use, I might reach for the keyboard now and then, but most tasks I can perform without my hand ever leaving the TourBox. Just imagine editing a video with this device. Let's review what it can do. Hold the tall button and drag the playhead to insert time. Hold the Short button and drag to extend a clip. Zoom in. Zoom out. See the entire timeline. Step forward or back frame by frame. Hold the Tall button while turning the knob and select frames. Hold the Short button and move 15 frames at a time. Turn the dial to jump from clip to clip. Press the button near the knob and undo the last command. Select a clip and press up, splits the media. Down adds an animation. Right groups media. Left and side plus left moves forward and back through inputs. Side plus right ungroups. Side plus up splits all tracks. Side plus down stitches media. Copy, paste, cut, or ripple delete. And finally, press the knob or dial to start and stop playback. Modern systems sort right, but some older systems. Now I'll show how I configure TourBox to control Camtasia. Open the TourBox console app. If you don't have it yet, download and install it. See the link in the description. In the preset list, click the plus icon to make a new preset. Give it a name. I already made one for Camtasia, so to demonstrate, I'll name this one Camtasia 2. For the type of preset, select Customize Preset and click Create. Everything is blank to start. Here we'll enter Camtasia shortcut keys that perform the commands we want. This assumes you haven't changed any of the standard Camtasia shortcut keys. For a complete list of shortcuts in Camtasia, see the link in the description. Notice as you hover the mouse over the choices on the right, the illustration of the TourBox lights up to show which control the mouse is over. A nice touch and helpful. First is the rotating section, which has the knob, scroll, and dial. These all have two halves, left and right, one for each direction. For the knob, click on the left half. A window opens. On the keyboard, press the comma key. You should see the keystroke is accepted. It's not required, but a good idea to edit the tag. Click the pencil icon and enter Step Backward. Click OK. On the right half, do the same, but enter the period key instead and make the tag Step Forward. Next is press, meaning when the knob is pressed. Press the space bar. And for the tag, enter Play/Stop. Click the double chevron to show more. To speed this up, I'll simply call out the shortcut to enter. Tall plus knob left, Shift plus comma. Tall plus knob right, Shift plus period. Short plus knob left, Shift, Control, comma. Short plus knob right, Shift, Control, period. Top and side buttons I'll skip. You can always add something here if you like. For scroll, click either the right or the left half. This time we'll use one of the built-in functions. Click the triangle to open the section Mouse. Then choose CMD plus Mouse Scroll. That's for Mac OS. For Windows, use Control in place of Command. For press, meaning when the scroll wheel is pressed, enter Command, Shift, and 0. Dial left, Control plus comma. Dial right, Control plus period. Press dial, spacebar, play/stop. The next section is the prime 4. Side, Command. Top, Control. Tall, Shift. Short, enter Alt, also known as Option on Mac. And just so you know, if you get any wrong, just click again and choose another key combination to replace the last. Next is the Kit section. First is the Tour button, the one near the knob. Enter Command Z for undo. Up, Command T. Down, Shift A. Left, press Tab. And for right, enter Command G. Click the double chevron to show more. Scroll down a bit to the section with side button plus D-pad. Or if you prefer, you can always use the top button for the modifier instead. Your choice. I find the side button is more natural for me. Side plus up, Command Shift T. Side plus down, Command Alt I. Side plus left, Shift Tab. And side plus right, Command U. C1 and C2 are the round buttons top right. C1, Command C. C2, Command V. Tall plus C1, Command Shift X. And short plus C1, Command X. That does it for my configuration. You can always add more, or change any of my choices to your own. These are just suggestions, what works for me. That's a great thing about the TourBox. There is so much it can do, and best, it does it however you decide. That should be enough to get you started. Get your TourBox at one of the links in the description. Like this video if you found it helpful, and subscribe so you're notified of future videos. Also, leave a comment. I always like to hear from you. Thank you for watching.